According to Jean-François Chevrier's analysis, the introduction of the tableau form in photography at the end of the 70s had the primary aim of restraining the distance to the object image. Chevrier's analysis also revealed a restriction of painting. Its conventional tableau form, flat, rectangular, and limited, considered by many artists and critics since the 70s as obsolete and exhaustive, unable to create circumstances for a real confrontation with actual aesthetic stakes, and also unable to transcribe the experience of the contemporary world. Filled by its long history, the tableau form, or the tableau object, has been reloaded during the second half of the 20th century by theoretical approaches and by artistic practices that pay tribute to the classical parangon. I'm thinking here of Greenberg's modernist teleology and its formalist avatars in the United States, about material and conceptual deconstruction by avant-garde groups such as BNPT and Support Surface in France, about the return of figurative painting, whether called figuration libre, bad painting, or trans avant-garde, picking images from both the history of art and contemporary mass culture. And I'm also thinking about the continuation of a kind of abstract painting that quotes historical forms and signs of abstract painting in a postmodernist way, or another kind of abstract painting that develops beyond the limits of the frame, taking place on walls, floors, painted ceilings, in connection with architecture and urban spaces. With this background in mind, I would like to talk about the work of two contemporary painters, Robert Suermont, born in 1961 in Geneva, he lives in Brussels, and Thierry Costezec, born in 1970 in Saigon, he lives in Paris, and he is here today. However different their work are, both of them are attached to the tableau form, but neither in an exclusive relationship nor in a nostalgic way. Their works maintain a constant and determining relation to the photographic image, its technical reproducibility and its distribution en masse, its ubiquity increased by its digital dematerialization and circulation. Before talking about what their painting does to images, I will show a few pictures of their works, then try to explain the way they are elaborated and show what images do to their paintings. We'll start with Robert Suermont. One of Robert Suermont's activities consists in collecting photographs extracted from magazines, from newspapers, from advertisements, and from postcards. He cuts out hundreds of images. These photographs are the raw material of the artist, which he archives and sticks on paper, composing a kind of visual atlas, which he uses to conceive his paintings. Suermont also incorporates fragments of black and white photographs into small collages, where they are associated so as to produce a single but complex image, rather than the succession of autonomous and recognizable images that can be seen in the atlas. It is difficult to recognize in this collage what the photographs originally showed, because the operations of montage engender a new structure based on the lines of the cuts and the continuity of forms from one image to another. It is in this way that Suermont's tableaux are elaborated. They are montage, I'm thinking about cinema here, editing, of several fragments cut from photographs, some of them resulting from the atlas. As you can see here, it's a part of the atlas but with painting parts. Some of them resulting from the atlas, others having been taken by the artist himself. The small collage or montage are scanned or photocopied in black and white before being thrown or simply being observed to be transcribed, enlarged on the paintings. In the most recent of them, and in the painting which arise from them, the artist prefer, rather than the rectilinear cutting of the diptych made in 2009, a more sinuous cutting which multiplies and concentrates the articulation and the breaks of planes until a clear understanding of the image is rendered difficult, even impossible. But this transfer from collage to painting is not slavish. Profound modifications are introduced. Part of the source image are deleted, replaced by other elements. The painter pursues his montage process. The tableau is constructed through the organized, controlled tearing of the photographic image. As the critic Pierre Sterckx wrote in a catalogue, Suermont ordered the syncopations at several levels in the image. Decapitated portraits, color planes, areas of penciling, natural white, combination of heterogeneous materials along the edge. Suermont multiplied the cut edge within the painting in order to avoid defining just a single focal length. He introduces many folds of textiles, skin, and more abstract folds of painterly gestures, twisting the surface of the painting in a way that the function of visual scope loses its dominant force. Breaks, acceleration, syncopation, aberrations makes the images largely illegible, even if the pictorial treatments enable the viewer to perceive the photographic origin of the painted elements. Suermont uses the efficiency, the impact, the immediate nature of the photographic image in press or advertising. But he untied them almost entirely of the object. The image illustrates nothing more, no longer delivers a clear message. The gaze slides on the surface of the painting, bounces from one detail to another, passes from one plane to another, and wonders about the moment when it crosses from one image to another. The gaze is truly being disturbed. The whole image seems to be held in the foreground. It is so complicated that the spectator remains torn between the feeling of a perfect vision of every detail and a blindness provoked by this abundance of detail and different points of view inside the same tableau. The result of these operations, cutting and montage, is a trap for the gaze, in French, piège à regard, in which, without many clear indications, but with numerous suggestions, the viewer has to focus, to adjust his vision, and is forced to make up his own mind about the painting. Suermont's most recent paintings gradually abandon the photographs of details of bodies and urban crowds. They privilege instead the structured architectural configuration. But even in this more abstract appearance, the visual chaos, the sensations of extracted details and of photographic blow-up are still here. The fragmentation of the image in Suermont's painting is pushed even further in the shots, which the painter realizes in situation. It's not this one. This one. Is a painting put on the ground against the wall or a chair, or even like here in his kitchen. But I'm thinking in particular of the model of fictitious gallery, museum or lounge spaces made by the artist to exhibit reduced reproductions of his paintings, which he then photographs. These models, rather than isolating and advancing paintings, stress the disorder around them and prolong the chaos of their composition beyond the limit of their frame. These models are not full works, but small stages intended to be photographed. These images, such as the photographs of creased paper and adhesive tapes, rubbish from the production of paintings, can serve as raw materials for the tableau to come.